Chapter 16. Father Benito was surprised when his Sicilian called him back to the chair beside her. He had thought that she was too tired, but he saw that a new energy had filled her. Strengthened by new allies, Captain Cortez returned during the days when flowers covered Tenochtitlan, but it was to be the last time for our gardens to bloom. The white men came, and our armies were no match because of the plague. Although we were prepared, the long siege reduced us to starvation and thirst, and we would not prevail. Tenochtitlan fell. What do you remember about those days? My stomach still shrinks when I remember. It was early morning when the snake drum began its warning, telling us that the awaited battle with the invaders were about to begin. The lake filled with war canoes loaded with warriors. The air was charged with their war screams. The causeways were fortified in expectation of the attack, as was every street, house, and temple. Then the fighting began. Captain Cortez was able to force the Mexica out of the lake with a boat he had constructed and floated. It was loaded with fire-spitting weapons. The battle for the streets of Tenochtitlan, however, was not that easy, and the fighting lasted a long time. Nearly 3 months. Benito spoke softly. You know all of the details? Not all. I want to know what happened among your people at that time. What did you eat, and when did you sleep? What were you feeling? We were frightened but not afraid, but as the days passed, our losses were so great that the time came when even the wounded went out to fight. We women helped by preparing weapons for the warriors. We also went out to battle, throwing stones and debris at the enemy from rooftops and hidden places. It even happened that we didn't eat or drink so that the men could nourish their bodies with the little food they had that was left. Soon we ran out of food and water. We had nothing to eat except for the bark of the trees, plants, and even the weeds from the lake. In time, even these disappeared. Then we had nothing to drink except the water from the lake, but that was salted, so it drove people out of their senses. Then we drank urine. Those of us still fighting were pushed back to Tlatelolco. By that time, the canals and streets of the city were destroyed. Our houses, courtyards, meeting places, schools, shrines, and temples were no more. And the decaying bodies of our dead reminded us that something much more precious than a city had come to an end. After the captain sent word that we should surrender and save Tenochtitlan, we asked, what Tenochtitlan? When the end came, it was decided that our city was beyond salvation. An attempt would be made to save the future of our people. A plan was devised for Cuauhtemoc, his wife, and others to escape to the northern territories from where we originated. There they would find sanctuary to give birth to a new family. From there, the Mexicans in time would reclaim their destiny. A canoe was ready. I stood watching as the king, his wife, her women servants, and several nobles climbed into it. I stared at them, wondering about my own destiny and what had brought me to that moment to witness the end of my people, as well as the departure of those who had given birth to a new race. Then the king asked me to come with them, and I got on the canoe without thinking. No one said anything. It was not a time for complaints or questions, and we all kept silent while the boat made its way toward the northern edge of the lake. But before long we were caught, trapped, cornered, and captured. Huitzilin stopped speaking, and Father Benito craned his stiff neck. She was again fatigued and unable to go on, but despite this and his own weariness, he wanted to hear more. Go on, please. What happened after that? What happened? Cuauhtemoc and the other nobles became prisoners. The rest of us were dispersed in different directions, dying along the way from starvation and sadness. Not long after that, the Mexicans disappeared as a people. The woman shuddered slightly as she slid her tongue over a dry upper lip. She sighed and got to her feet unsteadily. This is all I have to tell you regarding the encounter between my people and yours. From now on, you can leave your papers in your monastery because tomorrow I'll end my confession.